So, like, imagine if Skylanders was, like, a Netflix show. Alright, so I've just consumed practically the entire Skylanders show. There is a few episodes left of the final season that I haven't watched yet. I'll watch those in a bit. I'm gonna start actually doing my review while I'm finishing off the final episodes, right? So I say let's start out with some things from season 1, hey? Alright, so first of all, for some reason they made Spyro the Dragon an absolute insufferable fucking egotistical dick. This is not Spyro. This is not Spyro. Also, why the fuck did he just flash Flashwing? Guys, Flashwing has Flash in their name, but that doesn't mean she wants Spyro to flash his asshole. Guys, what is... This is the first 5 minutes of the first episode, and Spyro has just flashed his asshole at Flashwing. So... Okay. Yep. Okay, so, and then, the first couple of episodes sort of just, like, setting up, like, the main story, I guess. It's just like, oh, yeah, we have to do this competition thing to become a Skylander, right? Keep in mind, by the way, this entire show is completely separate to the games. It breaks so much of the lore, retcons so much shit, and changes so much shit that, like, if anybody tries to tell you that, oh, yeah, it's canon to the games, genuinely, just shoot them in the face, because they are fucking lying to you. It is not canon whatsoever. But something that I find funny is it can't figure out, like, what's canon in its universe and what's not. Because, like, listen, if you look in the background of this universe of Skylanders Academy, you can see that there's a Traptanium portal in the middle of the academy, which is similar to in Skylanders Trap Team, where their academy has, the Traptanium portal in the middle of it, which then you can go over and you can, like, swap out villains and stuff through the Traptanium crystals. But something that I find funny is that Traptanium crystals wouldn't exist in this universe, like in the Skylanders Academy universe. So then it's really confusing why the portal in the middle of the academy has a slot to put Traptanium crystals in. Because how Traptanium crystals were made was from Cloudcracker Prison exploding and decimating, and then transporting to an alternate reality, the real world. But as you can see, Traptanium Prison, sorry, not Traptanium Prison, Cloudcracker Prison is still in the show. And it's also incredibly different in the show. In the game, it's made specifically to store Doom Raiders, and it's inescapable. In the movie, it's like a regular prison where a bunch of Mabu are there for no reason, and then there's like the Doom Raiders, and it's like actually the simplest shit to escape. It's like completely no reason why somebody wouldn't escape. You literally see that like tons of the prisoners can straight up walk through the bars. And I know it's a common cartoon trope where it's like, oh, why don't they just walk through the bars in the prison? They're so small. No, but the characters actually just walk through the bars. Like, they full on just walk through. There's no reason why they don't escape. And that's why they constantly escape. The fucking villains, the Doom Raiders, who are supposed to be in Cloudcracker Prison, are never in Cloudcracker Prison. The only times they're in Cloudcracker Prison is when the Skylanders are there guarding them to stop them from escaping. And guess what? They escape anyway. Like this... First of all, Cloudcracker Prison is so stupid in the show because it's just a regular-ass prison. 99% of the prisoners there are just regular-ass Mabu thugs, right? And, like, you know, there's no way you're gonna need Traptanium to protect, like, you know, so not protect, there's no way you need Traptanium to stop Mabus from escaping. Because if you think about it, Traptanium is the stuff, you know, in lore that is specifically designed for stopping the worst of the most powerful evildoers in all of Skylands. I don't think some random Mabu named Jeremy, who robbed an old lady, needs to be put in a Traptanium cell. To be fair, Clown Cracker Prison in the show, there's not an ounce of Traptanium. Literally none. Single bit, none of it. There's none. There's not even like a drop of it. It's just gone. Traptanium is just not in there. Which is then, once again, really weird, because not only has the prison not exploded, and therefore creating Traptanium crystal, like, Traptanium traps, it also isn't made out of Traptanium, so even if it did explode, it wouldn't make Traptanium traps. As far as we're aware, Traptanium doesn't even really exist in the show. Well, it does. They have mentioned Traptanium, and we've seen Traptanium. For example, you know, the few Trap Masters we see, their weapons are made out of Traptanium. But that's as much as we see, and as much as we hear. So, I don't know why there's a Traptanium portal with a trap slot in the middle of the Skylanders Academy, in the show. But, you know, I guess there just is. I don't know. And anyway, what's next up? Oh! Okay. Alright, yeah. We're gonna bust out the science for this one, gang. Alright, gang. Let's take our estimates, guys. Does chaos measure up? That's right, we're doing the Map Pat thing. Does Luigi measure up? No, does chaos measure up? And you might be thinking, how are we gonna see if chaos measures up? Well, my answer to that is, we see if he measures up or not in the end of the first episode. So, let's do some math, shall we? I'll be back in a sec once I get my calculations and my, thesis, up and ready. Yahoo, yo. Mario style. Okay, so the average height for men, adult men globally, is 171 centimeters, or 5 foot 7.5 if you use quote-unquote freedom units. And, you know, if we assume that Malfoy, Chaos's father, is 171 centimeters, the average adult male human height, which, of course, Malfoy isn't a human, but he's humanoid, alright? He's pretty close, alright? Then, if we look at photos from the show of Malfoy and Chaos standing next to each other, we can see that Chaos is roughly about half of Malfoy's height. I'm not bothered to actually count the pixel and, you know, count the pixels and work out pixel density and pixels to inch and stuff, right? I'm not doing all that. So I'm gonna just assume that Chaos is exactly half of Malfoy's height, which we also don't even know Malfoy's canonical height. Which, you know, obviously this isn't proper accurate, right? But it's close enough, which with this would lead Chaos to be 85.5 centimeters, or 2'8", or roughly the height of the average 5-year-old. Or I think, maybe. I might be overshooting the age or undershooting. I don't know. Yeah. So, now, going back to what the question originally was, the size of Chaos's penis. I can't believe that I'm making this video. Yeah. So, if we look at the thing here, we look at the measurements in the shadow, alright? Of course, he's laughing in the scene that we see the shadow, so we see him sort of like arching his pelvis up and then arching it back down. When he's laughing, he's he's bringing his chest up and down, bringing his body up and down, right? Think about it this way. If he had, you know, any amount of schlong, alright? And if he had, like, a big schlong, while he's laughing, you would see it swinging back and forth. You would also, even if he was just standing still, you would see, you know, like a sort of hanging thing off. Whether what we see is just a complete right angle. He has the biggest leg gap ever. His fucking legs go up, alright, and then at his groin, it's just a right angle going to the side and then going down on the other side of the leg. He has no indents, outdents, or anything there, which leads me to believe, due to the fact that we don't see anything there, that either A, Chaos has a fucking micro penis, B, Chaos has an internal penis, C, Chaos is transgender or something and actually has a vagina, or D, Chaos just doesn't have anything there. However, judging by, the fact that Glumshanks had an obvious, reaction, he was like, oh, I didn't want to see that. When Chaos stood up and did that and showed off whatever was there, it's obvious that, look, D is scratched out. There is obviously something there. Unless Glumshanks is just, really disturbed by seeing a regular patch of skin. Like, would he freak out if he saw, the back of Chaos's forearm or something? Judging by the fact that, I don't think Chaos is transgender, that's, I'm not outruling that completely, but there's not enough evidence to say that he's transgender, alright? We're not gonna say that he has a vagina. Another thing as well is if he did have a vagina, there would still technically be an outdent or an indent technically, just due to the actual indent of the vagina, and then also the outdent on the sides from the vaginal folds, right? But we see just basically nothing. We see no outdents, no indents. It's a straight right angle. It's just a straight line. Which leads me to believe that either A, he has a micro penis, or B, he has an internal penis. I think it's probably more likely to be the micro penis, just due to the fact that, I don't think that, Chaos would have an internal penis. Maybe he would, I don't know. Last time I checked, Chaos does not give the signs of being a reptilian or a fish. So, I don't think he would have an internal penis. I think he would have an external penis. Just a very small one. So small that you can't even see it, from in a shadow when he's standing up shaking it around. Which leads me to believe that it's, gotta be, at most 2 centimeters. There's no way it's any bigger than that. Which leads me to believe that whatever I'm doing, all this math that I just did beforehand, working out the, most standardized height is completely useless. Because it doesn't matter if I know the height of him or not. I can't measure his penis because his penis is so small that you can't measure it. You can't. Also, his scrotum, his ballsack, and his testicles are probably micro as well because there was no lump there. It's just all flat. So, do what you want with this information, I guess. Yeah. What else in the show? Oh my fucking gosh. So let's talk about voice actors in this show, and also the lack of voice actors. So first of all, Crash Bandicoot, he appears in this show for 1 episode. I feel like he was literally just there to be like, oh, by the way, yeah, Crash Bandicoot's actually in Skylanders Imaginators, guys. So if you want to go get Crash Bandicoot Skylanders Imaginators, he's pretty cool. But it's like, no, this isn't the way to tell people to get Skylanders Imaginators Crash Bandicoot. Because in Skylanders Imaginators, Crash Bandicoot is really good, and he actually acts like Crash Bandicoot, right? However, in the show, he doesn't act like Crash Bandicoot. Just listen to this. Just listen to this. Just watch.
Pressure, big guy. Oh, I'm just worried about my friends. Dr. Cortex was about to begin his takeover of our world at the very moment I got sucked.
Yeah, last time I checked, Crash Bandicoot, the star role of the Insane Trilogy, does not, sound like Steve Irwin if he was a fucking philosopher. Jesus Christ, not only does Crash Bandicoot not even talk, the most you'll hear him is just like him going, wow, wah, yeah, wow, wow, woo, sa, sa, wah, wah, sa. You know, he just sort of does random little fucking gibberish noises like that. He doesn't talk. He doesn't fucking talk. But then they made him talk in the show, and they didn't even give him, like, you know, something that would make sense for his voice. Like, if they got, like, the voice actor of Pop Fizz and told them to just, like, you know, just mix it up a little bit, or, like, just, if you're gonna make him talk, at least make him sound like a, you know, insane goofball, you know? Not fucking Steve Irwin if he was a philosophy major. Like, what is this? He's like, ooh, you know, mate, you know, back in my day, I used to always say to my Tonya, you know, I would go to my Tonya and I'd say to her, you know, I think, therefore I am, you know, oh, you know, mate, yeah, like, what the fuck is that? Another thing as well is just, like, he's, like, really obsessed with going back to Wampus Islands to, like, save, Tonya, right? But something I find funny is that we never get the conclusion to that story. We never get the conclusion. He gets sent back to Wampus Islands, and then that's it. We don't get the conclusion. We don't get it. Did he save them? Did he even manage to get back to Wampus Islands? Because it's interdimensional portal. For all we know, the portal could have messed up and just torn him to shreds and just lost him in the space-time. He could literally have ceased to exist. And the show is just like, oh no, yeah, he's over at Wampus Island saving Tonya from Neocortex. No, you're just skipping over the fact that he could have been torn apart in the space-time. Like, already he was fucking destroyed, alright, during the space-time. It completely changed his personality. He went from going, wah, 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 cha, zah, zah, wah, wah, to going, I think, therefore, I am. G'day, mate. Like, oh my gosh. So, how do we know when he got sent back, he wasn't just, like, torn up and spaghettified while he was going through the wormhole? How the fuck we know? Who knows? Next voice actor, who I actually love the fact that he was in this show, but at the same time, I don't know why he was in the show. So here's this character here.
Nothing's happening. Maybe your crystal's broken, Kingpin.
I think Kingpin called it the imagination space.
I wanted to go in the box. We are in the box, so to speak. The box is the imagination space. So what do we do now? I guess we think about what we want our new Skylander to look like.
A banana head.
What's wrong with the banana head? This is your idea of a new teammate. Maybe? Okay, we got the head. Let's imagine what else we want to decide.
Well now, this is, something, isn't it?
Unorthodox for sure. But if this is what the Skylanders imagine, then this is surely the teammate they need to join them.
So did we do it wrong?
There is no right or wrong, Pop Fizz. Only what is or is not.
So that's a yes or...
Sai should have come to life by now. His design is such that once he is fully assembled, he would just...
I'm the real Bill. Sorry, that's my catchphrase of this head.
Catchphrase? Like a Skylander needs something like that to get all fired up.
You know who that is, right? That's Sai. The character's name is Sai, and you probably recognize the voice. That's Dan TDM. Dan the Diamond Minecart. Why did they hire him exactly? Listen, I'm not complaining. He's a great guy. I love his videos, right? But like, I don't think he's ever really been known for being a Skylanders YouTuber. Like, his entire channel is more so themed around Minecraft. In fact, his channel's name, Dan TDM, is Dan the Diamond Minecart. I understand there aren't even diamond minecarts in Minecraft, and also, Minecraft isn't the creator of minecarts or diamonds. But I want to ask you, if it wasn't for Minecraft, would you even know what a fucking minecart was? And would you even really, care about minecarts, even if you did know them? Like, maybe you'd see a minecart in Indiana Jones, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's that, like, coal distribution thingy. Minecraft is the whole reason minecarts were popularized. I mean, they're not, but it's like, come on, you can't tell me if Minecraft never existed, you wouldn't know what a you would still know about minecarts, and you know, they would still be, like, very, prominent in your brain. They fucking wouldn't. The Dan TDM is inherently Minecraft, like a Minecraft YouTuber. That's not even inherently a Minecraft YouTuber. He is a Minecraft YouTuber. I'm not saying that he can't be in the Skylanders show, but I'm just like saying, like, why him? I feel like there's probably better picks. Like, there are tons of Skylanders YouTubers who just do Skylanders. The whole thing is they're known for Skylanders. And I feel like it would have been really good for the Skylanders community, like, if they got to see one of their favorite Skylanders YouTubers as the voice of Sai. Granted, DanTDM is still peak, and I'm sure a lot of Skylanders fans also enjoy Minecraft. Like, that's just common sense. They're both creative kids games, catered towards, an all ages audience. It's kind of just, common sense. Like, there's probably a lot of overlap in the fandoms, right? But I'm just saying, like, I feel like it would have been better if you maybe got, like, FGTV Daddy, or Duds, or Duddy, whatever you want to call him, because, yes, I know, he's mainly in FGTV, right? But he also, you may know this channel, you may not even know FGTV, which if you don't, I'm surprised you're even watching this video, because how old are you? Are you, like, 5 or something? Like, oh my gosh, man, like, but, like, do y'all remember peak channel, the Skylanders boy and girl? Please tell me you know it. Please. This shit was so peak. Oh my gosh, I love this channel. Alright, I'm getting off topic, but this channel was so fucking good. It was unbelievable. I feel like maybe getting FGTV Duddy, or one of his children who was in the Skylanders boy and girl. I've completely forgot the name of his kids. All I can remember is there's Chase. And then I think there was, like, someone like Lexa or something? No. I think Mike. I think I remember Mike. I can't remember the little one. The one who's, like, a tiny little child. What was his name? Sean, I think? I don't remember. I don't fucking remember, gang. Basically, wait, fuck, what was I saying? Oh no, I remember. Yeah, for some reason though, Sai hardly appears in the show. He appears in, like, one of the first episodes, and, like, it seems like they're setting up him to be, like, a major role or something like that, and then at the end of the episode, he sort of just leaves, and then we don't see him or even hear about him for, like, the entire rest of the season, and then season 2, he sort of appears randomly for one episode, and then leaves again, and he just comes in and out randomly, and that's, like, as much as we see. We see him, like, 5 times in the entire show. Like, oh my god, right? So it kind of feels like they were kind of just like, oh, we need something for people to be like, oh yeah, we need to watch this. It's like, you know how modern day, movies and stuff, they get all the big television names. They're like, oh, guys, we got Aquafina, Jackson Blackson, Jason Momoa, Chris Pratt, The Rock, John Cena, it feels like they were kind of doing that, but they were like, okay, what's something that the kids will love, that make them love this show? I got it. Add a character who has a banana for a head, and his name is DanTDM. Well, his name is Sai, but he'll be voice acted by DanTDM, and nobody will call him Sai. Everyone just calls him DanTDM in the fandom, because that's all he is. He doesn't really, like, have his own personality. He's just playing DanTDM, but with a different name. So that's pretty peak, I guess. Anyway. And then next up on the, voice actors, or, more so lack of voice actors, is Flynn. Where is Flynn? Flynn isn't seen a singular time in the entire show. Okay, that's a lie. He shows up in the show. Do you want to know what episode he shows up in? He shows up in episode 6 of season fucking 3. He showed up in the last fucking season, halfway through of it. Jesus Christ. Flynn is, like, one of the main characters in the games, and they just completely forgot of his existence until, like, the very last minute of the show. And that pisses me off, because Flynn has always been my favorite ever in all of Skylanders. He's my favorite character in all of it, right? And then he's just gone. He's just not in the show until the last minute. And I'm glad that they managed to get, the guy who voice acted Joe Swanson to be him in the show as well. because like that was what he was iconic for in the game, is that he had the "Hey Peter" voice, right? And that's pretty funny, and that's pretty, you know, Sigma and stuff, right? But something that I don't like in the show is they butchered his fucking design. They butchered his design. For some reason in this show, they gave him they tried to give him like a quote-unquote chiseled jawline, but they sort of just like got like the warp tool and just stretched out his jaw. It's really fucking weird, right? They also then just like completely butchered his entire build. He's supposed to be like, have like real little short legs and have like a really tubby dad bod, right? No, but they just gave him like a, you know, like a sort of muscular-esque sort of build, but it wasn't like full-on muscular. They just sort of made him look like he was like, you know, trying to pose as being really muscular, but he was still actually, you know, unfit and stuff. But they ended up just making him look like a fucking homunculus. Like, what is this? This is not Flynn. Look at this dude right here, and then look at actual Flynn from the games. What in the fuck did they do to Flynn? And I don't even understand why they did this, because they didn't really drastically change any of the other characters' designs. But for some reason with Flynn, they just did this. Did they do this on purpose, or were like the animation team just on crack or something? Like, what in the fuck did they do to my boy Flynn? Jesus Christ! You can't disrespect Flynn like that, bro. He's the greatest fucking pilot in all of Skylands, and they just disrespect him like that. Anyway, what should I talk about now? Oh, yeah, so, I don't know why, I don't know if it's just because I spend too much time on Instagram Reels or something, but please tell me I'm not going insane. Watch this clip real quick.
Just said that without all the hand stuff? Stupid, dumb, tingly, fire retarded ropes!
Okay, what do you think he just said? Alright, I don't know if I'm the only one who feels like he just said this, right? In the subtitles, it says that he said, fire retardant, right? Like, it's you know, it's not, you know, it's fireproof, so that way he can't burn through the ropes, right? But when I hear it, it sounds like he calls it fire. How do I word this? Arsler, the one for disabled people. You know, the, fuck, I don't want to say it. I don't want to just straight up say it, because I don't want to be offensive, right? You can't tell me he's saying fire retardant, right? Because it sounds like he's saying that word, right? But he, instead of saying, instead of saying ardent at the end, he said arded. It sounds like he said arded, right? I'm not stupid, right? He straight up, like, is he just saying the arsler? Like, am I just mishearing it? Because, like, that, you can write in the captions all you want, fire retardant. But it sounds like he's saying fire, insert a slur, alright? And I find that really fucking funny. Because Eruptor is, like, the whole joke with Eruptor is that he's stupid. Is that he's stupid and has bad time handling his emotions. Which makes me think again, if he did actually just say the arsler, maybe it's not too offensive. Maybe Eruptor canonically has Down syndrome. First of all, I'm just gonna say, Down syndrome people aren't stupid. People with Down syndrome aren't stupid, right? I'm not trying to be offensive or anything like that. Bro, one of my best friends has Down syndrome, alright? Like, I'm not fucking ableist. I'm not an ableist fucking dick, right? However, though, it is a fact that people with Down syndrome, and really any intellectual disability, tend to, you know, have a bit of a harder time understanding certain things. That doesn't mean they're dumb. It just means that they need a little bit extra help to actually understand stuff fully and be able to do stuff on their own. I'm somebody who has an intellectual disability. I'm not inherently dumb. I'm one of the smartest kids in every single one of my subjects in every single class I'm in, right? But I need extra help. I sometimes I need a little bit of extra help, right? That doesn't mean I'm dumb, but you know, like, it doesn't mean like I'm inherently, you know, like, quote unquote normal, you know? But if Eruptor did just say the arsler, I don't know if people should be offended or if they should be happy that now it's technically plausible that Skylanders has Down syndrome representation. Let me know what y'all think, guys. Let me know. To be fair, I don't even think it's biologically possible for a raptor to have chromosomes in the first place, to have, you know, the wrong amount of them. He is biologically molten rock. I don't think he has chromosomes. But, like, he is alive, so he's technically a living creature, so he probably does, but he's also just made out of rock and lava. Like, I don't know. Let's go on to the next slur said in the show.
Let me down! You talk weird, you know that?
And why are you so heavy? You're like 2 feet tall.
It must be his crazy large head.
That's it, you mongrel!
Yeah, that's right, guys. Chaos just said mongrel. Which, yes, before anyone says, that's actually just, you know, a term for a mixed breed of dog. Yeah, so, yeah, it is. It is a term for a mixed breed of dog. But is he talking to a mixed breed of dog? No. He's talking to a Hydra. Which, granted, that Hydra is basically just a mixed breed of dragons, right? So I guess that's the context. But still, knowing the context as well, that mongrel is a racial slur for mixed-raced people, makes it really funny, because you can take it out of context and therefore be like, guys, Chaos is racist. Which is funny to say, because, like, yeah, no shit, he's racist. His entire goal is to be evil. Why wouldn't he take up the excuse to start being racist? Bigotry is, like, the #1 first step to being an evil mastermind, bro. And, like, first of all as well, he straight up has slaves. He has slaves. He canonically has slaves. All of his slaves being lesser creatures, or in his eyes, lesser creatures. Like Glumshanks being a troll. He constantly belittles and harasses Glumshanks for being a troll. And then enslaves him as well. You know, Glumshanks is just a slave. Alright? And then also look at the Greebles and stuff. Not all Greebles are owned by Chaos, but Chaos has Greeble slaves. Not necessarily in the show, but, you know, the games, he obviously does. We see them in Swap Force, for example, building a golden statue to honor him. What is that about, huh? Why does Chaos just have slaves? Is Chaos racist? Probably. I don't know. I think I'm going too in deep in this. I think I'm just ranting for, the sake of being a schizophrenic, I guess, maybe. You know, tung sahur style, you know? Anyway, what's next up? Jetpack. Yeah, so for some reason in the show, Jetpack lays eggs all the time, which also he does the game. I know that, right? But it's just like, I find it funny, because in the games, it's sort of just a part of his moveset, so it doesn't really pick up, people don't really pick up on it too much, but in the show, they made it a big emphasis on the fact that whenever Jetpack gets scared, he lays an egg, alright? Which I find very, very funny, because last time I checked, male birds don't lay eggs. Is Jetpack transgender? First of all, I was saying Chaos might be transgender, but now I'm thinking Jetpack might actually be transgender. Either that, or he's a biological abomination. Or, you know, maybe he's not actually an avian, you know, maybe he's not reptilian, maybe he's, you know, like a fucking monotreme or something. He's like a relative of an echidna, you know, he just lays eggs, he just lays eggs. Well, no. Monotreme, what am I talking about? Monotremes lay eggs, but the thing is they're not special because the males lay eggs. They're special because they're mammals that lay eggs. It's still the females. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's up with Jetpack. I guess it's just like, you know, 6'7" or something. I don't know. Jetpack lays eggs. And we've seen that his eggs technically can hatch. They can technically hatch. While yes, the episode in which we saw his egg hatch, it ended up not being one of his eggs. But the fact that he wasn't absolutely flabbergasted at the fact that it was even capable of hatching means that he knows that biologically any of the eggs he lays could hatch at any time. But here's the thing, we never see a female counterpart of his. And we also never see his mother. The only, parent we ever hear of his, or relative of his, is he had a father. And, judging by the fact that we only ever have seen male people, males in Jetpack's family tree. We see Jetpack, and then we see Jetpack's father. We have no mention of a mother or anything like that, and Jetpack seemed totally okay with one of his eggs, which, first of all, he lays eggs, with one of his eggs coming out, fertilized, and hatching, which makes me think maybe Jetpack isn't male. Maybe Jetpack is hermaphrodital. He could be Jetpack's species could be a species that reproduces asexually. So it's just, they got all the sexual organs. They just, they inside of them, they fertilize the egg and then lay it, and then it can hatch, Who knows? Alright, I don't know. I'm just ranting for no reason, because, I like Skylanders. Alright, what's next on my, to yap about list? Let me think. Oh, I remember. Y'all remember my last Skylanders video? No, of course you don't, because you didn't watch my last Skylanders video. Naughty. You should go watch it, gang. I'm kidding, by the way. I don't even know if anybody's watching this video. I'm guessing not, because my shit is ass, right? But in my last Skylanders video, I had stated that, also, spoiler ahead, guys, just skip 10 seconds if you're worried about getting Skylanders spoilers. Technically, Chaos is, Eon's, son, right? Like, Eon is Chaos's father. I don't know why the fuck I said that. I misremembered the lore like crazy, and I apologize for being such a dumb fuck. Chaos is not Eon's son. They are related, but he's not his son. Chaos is Eon's nephew. Or niece. No, nephew, right? Nephew's, yeah, okay, I think, maybe, I don't know. Because Eon has a twin brother. And his twin brother is, fuck, I just had a mental blank. Why am I thinking Malfour? It's not Malfour. Malfour is, the big bad dragon guy. I can't remember his name. Fuck. Oh, gosh. I don't remember. It's like an evil variant of Eon. It's his twin brother, right? And then that is Chaos's dad, which then means that Eon is Chaos's uncle. Yeah, so... 6 or 7 guys, 6 or 7 guys, 6 or 7 guys, 6 or 7 guys, 6 or fucking 7 guys. Anyway, I don't know what in the bloody fuckily dookily do I'm yapping about. I'm trying to think what else I need to yap about. What do I want to yap about? Guys? I know what I want to yap about. Why the fuck does Sprocket have such a major role in this show? Why? I don't know if y'all even know who Sprocket is. That's how much of a forgettable character she is. I personally know who Sprocket is because I'm a big Skylanders nerd. And because Sprocket is one of the worst Skylanders I have ever fucking played as. Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh. I don't know if this is a hot take or a cold take or what. Sprocket sucks ass. I fucking hate her. I really wish she actually was I really wish she was actually a good character, right? Because her entire concept is like the engineer from TF2. Here's the thing though, the engineer from TF2 works because the engineer from TF2 doesn't need to move around to get to the enemies. He sits down and waits for the enemies to push in. But Skylanders is the sort of game where you have to keep pushing forward, keep moving to even have the enemies notice you, to even get near the end of the level. You can't just sit down and wait for the enemies to come to you. You have to go to them. You gotta go to them, alright? Which makes it really annoying because, Sprocket's whole mechanic, her whole gimmick as a Skylander, her whole playstyle, is she builds, like, sentry guns. Like, she builds, like, sentry turrets, right? Which, is cool. It's actually really sick. It's just that it's annoying because you can't easily move them, even though you need to be able to move them around due to the fact that enemies aren't going to come to you. I already discussed that, right? And they take fuck-ass long. They take so long to build. To build one of the sentries, it takes, like, 20 fucking seconds of just idle animationing. You click the button once, and then it's just idle animation as she swings her wrench and builds it. There's no protective field, there's no damage doing done while she's building it. She's just sitting out in the open like a wild duck as enemies are attacking her, and because her base HP is so fucking low in the first place, due to her being a core Skylander, she dies before she can even finish the fucking, building the thing most of the time. And if she doesn't, it's some sort of miracle, and she ends up being on 1 HP, and then she dies anyway, because she has to then run around the fucking thing, trying to fix it while the enemies are attacking it. And as soon as she goes to heal it, then the enemies attack her, and she dies! She's terrible! I don't know if my dumbass just doesn't know how to play with her, but, like, she sucks. She sucks. Oh my gosh. Granted, you don't have to use the turret ability, right? You can use, her wrench. She has a wrench that she can hit with, right? And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Oh, wait. I forgot. Why would I use a Skylander that only has one usable ability when every other Skylander has multiple usable abilities? Oh my gosh. Her wrench abilities. Yeah, it's a cool melee attack. Yeah, but that's her secondary ability. Her main attack thing and her main gimmick is her fucking turrets, which don't work. If her main attack gimmick doesn't work, why would I be, like, defending her and still using her? Because her secondary gimmick is, like, I guess, like, it works. It's like the bare minimum. It's like me being like, oh yeah, so this is my new Skylander I've just created. Basically, her entire gimmick, or his entire gimmick, or their entire gimmick, whatever, is, this, like, really, really cool concept, but it just doesn't work whatsoever, and it's just, like, it's the worst thing ever when it's actually put into action in the game, right? But, it's still a really good Skylander, because their secondary ability, like, just like they're just, like, ability that you just use when, like, you just need to do some quick damage when you're fighting chompies or something. Yeah, that ability, right? It's, like, just barely passes the line of usable. Am I a genius or what? Yeah, thank you. I will grandly accept my $1 million prize. Thank you so much. Actually just save Skylanders, guys. Skylanders is no longer dead. They are no longer shut down. With Activision opening up all of those fucking places again to build those Skylanders, all because of my new idea. Lop Sahor. He has a baseball bat, alright? And he has 1 HP. And he's actually not a Skylander, he's just laughing as a Skylander. He's actually, a pathetic little man baby who lives in his mom's basement. Speaking of pathetic little man babies who lives in his mom's basement, holy shit, Chaos is so peak in this show. He's peak in the games, he's peak in the show. Chaos is always peak. Also, something I find funny is Chaos is one of the only characters in the entire show that kept the original voice actor from the games. Like, and I find that funny because it's like, why Chaos? Is he just that recognizable? And then I say to myself then, then I, say back to myself, because I'm schizophrenically ranting to myself right now, then I say to myself, yeah, he is that recognizable. He's like the whole fucking, like, game. The whole game revolves around trying to stop his evil plans. And he is, like, the entire fucking thing that makes Skylanders so fucking peak, man. Chaos! Like, bro, you can't tell me Chaos isn't one of the most memorable Skylanders characters. The most memorable Skylanders characters, it's Chaos, Eon, and Flynn. And then, maybe, like, Spyro. But then again, Spyro's not even a Skylanders character. He originated from Spyro the Dragon. Like, that's like saying that Donkey Kong is the most recognizable Skylanders Superchargers character. Like, yeah, Donkey Kong is in Skylanders Superchargers, but he's not recognizable because he's in Skylanders Superchargers. He's recognizable because he's fucking Donkey Kong. Like, Jesus, right? Oh, what was I gonna say though? Shit. No, yeah, in the show, they really amplified the amount of, like, Chaos being a pathetic man baby, and I love that so much, because in the games, it was always very obvious that he was a pathetic little man baby. He was like a fucking, he was a man baby, a fucking man child, man. Like, he actually was such a fucking dumbass, man. Right? To the point that, like, the whole thing in Skylanders Swap Force with Cassandra, right? Just, aka Chaos's mom, straight up just, like, fucking trolling him, just, like, jump scaring him and watching him, and, like, watching as he just, like, fucking shits his fucking pants. Like, that's hilarious, right? But they really played it up in the show, because not only is now canonically Cassandra owns the castle. It's not Chaos's castle in the show. It's actually Cassandra's castle, and Chaos just lives in, like, a little side area, like, next to it. Like, he's straight up living in his mom's basement, which is so fucking funny. It's also just the fact that, like, you'd think Chaos would be, like, the most respected villain in all of Skylands, right? Like, but no, he's just a little fucking twerp. He's, like, one of the most powerful, especially later in the show, but nobody has any amount of fear or respect for him, because he's just a fucking little dumbass. He's, like, in his room playing with collectibles and shit, as, like, the fucking Doom Raiders are also in his room, and they're discussing, like how they're gonna brutally murder every single Skylander, and he's just there, just like, oh, guys, do you wanna see my, Pokemon cards? And it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, oh my gosh. Listen, I love Chaos. Chaos is a goat. But do you know who's more goated? Flynn. In the games, at least. In the show, he fucking sucks. Right? But, I think my favorite character in the whole show, it's gotta be my boy Glumshanks. He gotta glow up, personally. In the games, he was amazing. I loved him in the games. He was peak in the games, right? But they fleshed out his character so much more in the show, and I love it. They had, like, and he, instead of just being, like, the simple, like, little, like, bum of every joke, he ended up becoming, like, this full-fledged, like, actual, like, really, like, in-depth character, right? Like, he has, like, his own, like, history with Cassandra. He has, like, his own history being, like, a fucking, like playwriter and play actor. He used to be a musician. He has the dream of going to college and becoming, like, a professor at the college that he's going to, right? He has so many dreams and shit, and he's such a fleshed out character, and it honestly makes me feel bad for him, because I know none of those dreams that he has and none of those things that he used to have will ever be able to be, returned to him, and he'll never be able to accomplish them, right? Because he's now just owned by Chaos. Chaos just has enslaved him and tortures him 24/7, and Chaos is so oblivious to the fact that he's torturing him. Like, Chaos knows that he's torturing him, but Chaos thinks Glumshanks enjoys it. It's like, oh, Glumshanks, good morning. Can I waterboard you while I, slice out your jugular veins? And Glumshanks just has to sit there and accept it, because if he doesn't, it's just gonna happen anyway. And then plus worse stuff as well. The thing is Glumshanks is a troll, and trolls have, like, really good healing abilities, right? In the Skylanders lore. They heal for basically everything. Which makes me think that did Chaos just purposely choose Glumshanks because Chaos knew that Glumshanks wouldn't die if he 24/7 got tortured? Like, oh my gosh, it's actually so fucking stupid, and it's so fucking evil, but I love it. This show's so peak, and I know I'm just rambling on like a fucking stupid ass motherfucker right now, but it's peak. You can't tell me it's not peak. It is peak fiction. It is peak. It is fucking peak. The only bad thing with it is 1, the fuck they do my boy Flynn. 2, the fuck they do to my boy Crash Bandicoot. And 3, the fuck did they do to the ending? Oh my gosh, can they not leave, like, the show on a cliffhanger? They genuinely left it on the biggest fucking cliffhanger, and then they just cancelled the show. There was no fucking conclusion to the story whatsoever, and it pisses me off. It pisses me off. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. Oh my gosh, man. Whoa, blah 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 la blah 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 la blah 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 wala la blah. Basic rating out of the show. What I'd rate the show out of 10? Okay. What do I rate the show out of 10? I'd say I'd rate it 8 Sonic Boom DVDs out of 10. Yeah. I rate it 8 out of 10, just due to the fact that, like, it's good. I love it. It's peak. It's so fucking good. Everything about it is so good, except for, like, these few little things that just eat away at these shows, like, peakness, right? It's like the show is so fucking good. I love it so much, but just due to the fact that it has so many flaws that just, like, directly retcon the show's lore, and also then the game's lore as well, right? It just kind of pisses me off. And then there's also this shit where it's like, why does Crash Bandicoot sound like that? Why is Flynn so chopped? Why did Flynn only get introduced at the last minute? Why did you leave it on a cliffhanger? Why did you not, at least, release, like, the script you had for the final season, so at least people could have, like, just, like, at least a little bit of fucking, like, relief to the story, because they didn't finish the story. This shit got cancelled, and they just had to just scrap everything and put it all down because Skylanders got cancelled. It pisses me off. Like, right? And I love it though. I love the entire show. It's so fucking peak, but there's just some things that are just like let me think. What are some other things they can say about the show? Bad breath. They added a new Skylander in the show. They added Bad Breath, and I love Bad Breath so much. He has such a funny fucking concept, and his entire character is so peak, man. And, yes, by the way, I'm calling this concept funny because guess what? I have haha poo poo fart stink toilet humor, right? Somebody says a fart joke, I'm gonna laugh. Somebody just fucking rips ass, I'm gonna laugh, right? That's funny. That's funny, alright? So if a Skylander's whole joke is that they smell bad and they are constantly in a state of being gassy, nervousness makes me gassy. Everything makes you gassy! Yeah, true. Right? Like, that's so peak. I love him, right? Call me a little fucking toddler all you want. He's peak. He's so fucking peak, man. And it makes me so mad that he's not an actual Skylander. They added him to the show, but he only ever appears in the show. He doesn't exist in the games. There's no and it makes me mad because when I first watched the show, I remember I was like, yo, this character's sick! Wait. I didn't even know about this guy. Wait, I literally need to get him. This is such a cool Skylander. And then I looked it up. I looked it up and found out, no. He was originally just made for the show. He never appeared in any of the games. He wasn't an actual Skylander you could play as in the games. He's never even mentioned in the games. He was made purely just to be a side character in the show. And it makes me so mad. Because he has also such a good design. His design is amazing. He has such a cool fucking design. Especially for a core Skylander as well. Because so many core Skylanders end up just sort of being like, oh yeah, it's just like, this dude, he's like humanoid, and then like, he's like small and skinny and humanoid. And then like he, they're like, we give them like, different shirt. Like, like, I know I'm sounding really stupid right now, because these characters are all very different, but tell me, do you see, like, an actual very big difference in, like, the, like, physique and shape and uniqueness of these, you know, all these core Skylanders? Like, I'm talking about mainly, like, ones, like, you know, like, fucking Chill, Roller Brawl, who else? Fuck, I just had a mental blank already. How did I forget all of them? Oh, Hex? You know, Hex, Stealth Elf, my mental blank. My mental blank, go away, you're not being very nice, come back another day. You know, there's so many core Skylanders that are essentially, just, okay, so it's just like a little short, skinny humanoid, and then they just have, like, you know, they have spiky shoes that roll. They have a skull and an orb. They have a ninja mask. Like, they are all very unique characters and concepts, but they all dumb down to the very same just shape and physique. And I'm not saying that, like, we need every Skylander to be completely different shape, right? But it's just, like, it kind of annoys me, because, like, why can't we have more diversity in, like, the species and stuff? Because a lot of the time it ends up just being a humanoid species, right? But, like, look at some of the core Skylanders, like, you know, look at Spyro, for example. Bash. Fucking Wrecking Ball. Dude is the GOAT, man. Look at all these guys, right? They all look so unique in terms of everything. Like, and especially as well, like, core Skylanders, like, fucking, like Slobbertooth. Like, guys, Slobbertooth is so peak. He's so peak. He's unique. He's peak. And that's the thing is with, a lot of the core Skylanders, though, is the unique ones tend to be more animalistic. There's never, like, you know, like a sort of unique humanoid one. But that's what Bad Breath is. He's humanoid. He stands upright. He has, you know, he just has, you know, a regular humanoid build. But he's not just, like, you know, the regular skinny-ass tiny humanoid. He's very, like, bulky and wide. I can only describe his build like a dwarf from D&D or Lord of the Rings, right? And I love him. And his entire thing, like his facial shape, right? And his whole head and stuff. I fucking love him. Bad Breath is so peak. He's so peak. It pisses me off that he's never been in any of the games, and he never will be because they cancelled Skylanders. All of the games and all the show. Like, oh, fucking hell. Oh. No, I feel like maybe we just move on from the show now and talk about, you know, another Skylanders game, because I realized there's a Skylanders game that I have that I forgot to talk about. Skylanders Superchargers. Great game, peak, it's peak. The only reason I'm not making up my, like, a full video on Skylanders Superchargers is due to the fact that it's not really that big of a game. It's just like a sort of like kart racer. There's no, like, story and shit in it. Like, so, I don't actually even own a copy of Skylanders Superchargers. The closest thing I have to currently owning a copy of it is the, you know, the Skylanders Superchargers that comes, like, built into the, like, console releases of Skylanders Imaginators, right? Which is all the game is anyway. It's just the kart racing, right? Wait. What am I saying? See, that was my original thought process that I've had my entire life. Up until about 2 weeks ago, when I found out I've never played the Skylanders Supercharger story mode, because I didn't know it existed. All of the time when I've played Skylanders Superchargers, my first time playing it was on the Nintendo Wii release, which, the Nintendo Wii release, I never realized this, but it was cut down. They had to take out the story mode. I don't know why, but they did. So then it was just the kart racing, and I thought that was what every release was like. And then later in life, after my Wii had gotten broken and stuff, I wanted to replay Skylanders Superchargers. So I found it on the App Store, on the iOS App Store, and I played it there. Once again, just kart racing, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty fun. It's just how I remember it. And then again, I played it, then next time I wanted to play it, right, like years later, I had a Skylanders Imaginators on my PS4, and I was like, oh, it has built-in Skylanders superchargers. Yeah, I'll play this. Yeah, it's just a kart racer. This is how I remember it. But then I found out a few weeks ago, it was like 2 weeks ago from now, that every other release, pretty much, of Skylanders Superchargers has way more content. It has an entire story mode, including the PlayStation 4 release. The only reason I don't have the PlayStation 4 release of Skylanders Superchargers is because I always thought, why would I buy it? I can just buy the Imaginators release, which I already have, that has Superchargers built in. But I am so stupid. Because there's a whole ass story mode. Which you can also get out of your vehicle, which I never even imagined. Like, if I could, like, knew there was a story mode, I would never have assumed that there was bits of the story mode that are like a regular Skylanders game where you get out of your vehicle and go and venture around. Like, I don't know how I never knew about this. I sadly do not have the PS4 release of Skylanders Superchargers, which I do require in order to play it. Unless I just want to play the racing mode. But personally, I think it would be much better to create an entire video on the story mode that I never knew existed. And I feel like as well, maybe if the video is live reaction. Because I want you to remember, I thought I had consumed basically every single piece of Skylanders media. I knew that I hadn't consumed the, 3DS releases and stuff, which are technically different stories, and they follow very different, like everything, basically. I knew I had never played those, but I didn't really have much desire to, right? But I always thought that, like, for the mainline Skylanders games, that I had played all of them. But I haven't played Superchargers, or at least I haven't played the full version of it. I've played the cut-down Nintendo Wii version, the cut-down mobile version, and the cut-down version that comes with Skylanders Imaginators. Which means that I have been desperate for new Skylanders content for, like, what feels like forever now. Like, at least 10 years now, right? But there's been new Skylanders content this entire time that I just didn't know existed. And I am so fucking happy. And I need to track down a PS4 physical copy of Skylanders Superchargers. Because I want new Skylanders content! Oh. I'm actually gonna be so hyped though. So I'm gonna do live gameplay, and I feel like I gotta do like as a Let's Play series maybe. So like I'll just like record my live reactions as I play through the game, right? And then maybe once I finish the entire game and had live reactions of all of that, and then maybe I'll make like a like a sort of video, this sort of style, where it's just like a rant video where I just like yap about how much I love the fucking game, and or like don't like the game. I don't know. I haven't experienced the game. I didn't know it existed, but it exists. It exists, and I need to play it. So, with that, I say, roll the intro. Wait. We don't have an intro. We have the, hey Peter, check it out, my knowledge wheelchair. But you know what? In celebration of finally new Skylanders content, or at least for me, because I didn't realize that there was a story mode of Skylanders Superchargers, and I just never knew about. I say in celebration, we set up a new outro. For YouTube Shorts, it will still be, hey Peter, check it out, my new electric wheelchair, but for long form, I'm feeling something a little festive.
It's Christmas for them, it's Christmas for you, and it's Christmas for bad guys too.
It's a trouble me, Joe, and it's Christmas and I love present bills, even mistletoe with the whole decked out. It's really quite a scene. Did you know that happiness way we're green? I don't care that I have them in good. Santa's still gonna deliver my hood. But even if they don't, it's okay by me. I still got loads of stuff under my tree. This is the time for the finest of treats. Laying down rhymes on pepper funky beats. Pepper funky beats. I'm many watch, yo, and you know it's true. So I'm here to say that it's my Christmas too.
Christmas, everybody, from
Yo, what am I doing? Yo, Yo, I just realized I forgot to mention something about the game. So not the game, about the show, Skylanders Academy, that I probably should have mentioned. So in Skylanders Trap Team, there are the Doom Raiders, right? And then in Skylanders Academy, there are the Doom Raiders. But Skylanders Academy is missing some of the Doom Raiders. To list them off, they are missing the Gulper, Dr. Crankcase, Luminous, and Nightshade. So they're missing those ones, which fucking Luminous and Nightshade, to be fair, weren't like the biggest plot relevant. They were just for the DLC sort of levels and stuff that you had to get adventure packs for. But like the Gulper and Dr. Crankcase, the Gulper is the first fucking Doom Raider you capture, and Dr. Crankcase is like Dr. Crankcase is the Doom Raider who figured out how to he figured out the cheese. Okay, if you haven't played Trap Team, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but he did the cheese. He figured out the cheese strat. I'll explain it in another video. I gotta go though.